Connecting external systems. Acumatica enables two-way information flows with external systems. The same business logic is applied, so your data is consistent no matter where it originates. Integration services enable you to import and export data without coding. Web service options provide real-time data exchange, but require integration with external systems. Contract-based APIs are popular because the API does not change during upgrade. REST APIs support data exchange with predefined and extensible endpoints. Webhooks are lightweight definitions for primarily event-based one-way data flows. We support SOAP APIs for legacy integrations, but these are rarely used because they rely on screen design instead of data objects. In this scenario, I have an external system that's going to be populating stock items inside Acumatica in real time. To do that, I'm going to use this default endpoint. To simulate the external system, I'm going to use Postman, so I can log in, and then I can perform these activities. So let's go get a list of stock items and only return some limited fields. See, here's all my stock items. I can also create stock items. So here's a situation where I'm going to create a new one. So I hit send, and the system creates the new stock item. So let's go search for it. There's my new stock item. Now, if you notice, there's not any notes in there. And I had some. That's because these aren't part of the default endpoint. So let's fix that. First, I'm going to go delete the existing stock item. And if I go refresh, you can see the fields are blank. Next, I'm going to extend my web point. So let's do that. Click Extend Endpoint. Now to extend that stock item screen, I look for it here. I select stock item. And I'm going to add some fields. So I hit Extend Entity. Populate helps me see fields that are not already there. There's a bunch of objects I can update, but the stock item summary is where my pop-up note text appears. So I add those items to my extended endpoint. I reopen Postman, and I'm going to swap this from default to the Doug endpoint. Hit save, and I can resend that to our system. So now if I search for stock items, the demo item, I expect to see the pop-up note. That's a simple example how an external system can use default endpoints and an extended endpoint to create objects, delete objects inside Acumatica. There are many other objects that you can create in Acumatica as well. Now, in addition to the web service endpoints, you can use webhooks. One example is SendGrid. SendGrid's a system that wants to send email updates to Acumatica. Webhooks are predefined, so when I save this, the system automatically creates this listening port, so SendGrid can send us data about the status of different emails in the system. At this point, I would put this URL in my SendGrid application. That way it could send information on any time it wants over to Acumatica. Web Services allows you to send information to Acumatica using screen-based APIs. So for example, I create this one called Bank Deposits. Put in a screen called Bank Deposits for this SOAP API. I hit the Generate button, and that will create the WSDL file. Here's all the objects associated with it. Now this requires an external system, so I'm not going to be able to show actually using this. The problem with this is if I go to my screen, if anything on this screen changes, then that web services description must change as well. So these are rarely used anymore. Import scenarios are a quick and easy way to add things such as journal transactions to my Acumatica instance. They can be used for many other things as well as deleting and appending them as well. It all starts with a data provider. So I go in and if I pull up a spreadsheet that's attached to it, you can see it has several tabs and several fields across the top columns. Those are all mapped automatically for you in the schema area. As you can see, there's access to many things other than just Excel spreadsheets. The next thing I need to do is I can define my import scenario. The import scenario is going to match all these objects here, which are things in Acumatica, with the objects in your spreadsheet. You'll notice I can even use formulas if need be. Now, once my mapping is all set up, I can go to the Import by Scenario screen. This screen can be scheduled on a regular basis, but I'm going to run it manually. So first, I prepare it, and you'll see it pulls in several records. I don't want to import all those right now, so let me go grab one batch. I'm going to grab these two with batch here, and I think I'm going to change the date to something a little more modern here. And now I can import the transactions. If I go back to my journal transaction and go back to my list of batch, you can see that my records have been quickly and easily imported. And most importantly, I can do all of this without coding. Acumatica can scale to support your needs. Customers with heavy integrations can purchase a processing node to offload and separate system activities from user activities. This ensures that users get consistent performance. With Acumatica, you can connect external systems according to your needs and budget. Integration services provide a no-code option, while web APIs provide real-time communications. For more information, contact an Acumatica reseller or visit our website.